everybody, my name's Kathleen. I work here at the Bozeman Public Library in the Children's Library, and I'm so excited you are joining me for story time today. You'll notice that I am not sitting in the library today, am I? I am outside. I'm in my backyard, and it's such a beautiful snowy day, and the reason I'm out here is we are going to celebrate snow and winter today in story time. For next Tuesday is a very special day. It's called the Winter Solstice, and that is the 21st day of December. And people who live in the northern hemisphere, first of all, let's talk about what this thing is. This is called a globe, and this is a representation of where we live. There's different continents, land. The land is the color, and the water is blue. This is a really old globe, so some of it might not be accurate. Some of the countries have changed names, some of the borders have changed, but it'll give us a good idea. We live way up here in the northern hemisphere. There's Montana. This is called North America, and we live in Montana. So we live in the northern hemisphere. This is the southern hemisphere. And how we know that it's winter is there's signs that winter is coming or winter is here. It gets colder in the day and the night. You don't have as much light in the daytime. And that is because the sun is farther away at an angle. So the sun is here, we're up here, we don't get as much sunlight. But when it's summertime, it's tilted more like this and we get more direct sun. So the solstice is when it's a little bit colder, a little bit darker. We definitely have snow. We know animals are adapting or hibernating. They probably already migrated to get out of this cold weather. And because there's not a lot of food when the snow is covering it up and the trees, all the leaves are gone and the insects are gone. So our solstice all depends on how the earth is tilted. And the earth travels around the sun. Pretend this is the sun. We go around the sun. Oh, it's hard to make my hand do that. I've got a video I'll show you in a little bit that explains the winter solstice a little bit better. But anyhow, we know winter is coming, and the first day of winter is the 21st of December, which is right around the corner. So some people in the past, and today still, celebrate the winter solstice, and they celebrate the fact that the light is coming back. They've learned through time, even before they had instruments to measure the sun or measure the light, they noticed patterns over time. And they noticed that once the first day of winter happened, the days started getting longer. But building up to that, like what we're doing right now, December, it gets darker and darker. And on the night of December 21st, it's called the longest night or the shortest day. I've got a couple of books if you're interested in learning more about that. This one's called The Shortest Day, about the winter solstice. And this one's called The Shortest Day too. This one's a little bit shorter. It's a poem with some pictures. And I think we can go, I'll just open it up and show you. We don't have time to do the whole thing, but you can see there's some beautiful pictures. People in the past gathering wood. There's the sun probably setting. And so the people who live out in wilderness or out in the outdoors in the past, they lived off the land. They really celebrated the sun when it started to shine longer in the day. Here they are celebrating that the sun will be returning, and they've got candles lit, and you'll notice they've got bells, they're singing, they've got some greenery, they've hung some greenery here. That's how people in the past and today still celebrate the winter solstice. We're gonna do an activity afterwards you can do at home with your family that has part of that celebration of the light returning. And there's a candle in here. I made this little lovely luminary, ice luminary, and I'm going to show you how to make that in just a minute. And then we're going to light the candle. I'll probably do it at night, later tonight, to show you how beautiful it is. But you'll see in the back, my thing broke right here. My little ice luminary broke. But you see, it's hollowed out for a room for the candle. So we'll show you how to make that. But first we're going to have a song. We'll do our welcome song. And then we'll read a nice book together, all about snow. Everyone loves snow. There's so much to do. So let's sing our song, and then we'll go on to our book. If you know the song, sing it with me. It goes like this. The more we are together, 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 the more we are together, the happier we'll be. For your friends are my friends, and my friends are your friends. The more we are together, the happier we'll be. Oh, I'm glad that you're learning that song and you can sing it with me. Well, our first book and our only book we are going to do today is called Snowman Magic. This is written by a woman named Katherine Tegen, and Brendan Dorman did the illustrations or the pictures. Now, I know that a lot of people want to have their snowman come to life. And when I was a child, I wanted that too. And in this book, there's a little bit of that magic. So we'll read Snowman Magic, and then I'll show you how to do that wonderful ice luminary. All right, let's get started. All right, let's read Snowman Magic. I had to come in from outside because the snow from the trees above me started melting and falling on the books. I had to come inside to finish, but that's okay. I'm going to go back out and play in the snow later. Anyhow, let's read Snowman Magic. Such a great book. It had been snowing all day. Snowing, snowing, snowing. George was bored. There was no school, so he needed something to do. He kept looking out the window. Would it ever stop? The next morning, the sun was shining. When George looked out the window, everything was a brilliant white. The snow was so bright, it was almost hard to look at. If he squinted, this is squinting, he could see it was very, very deep, and it had drifted high against the slope, a little bit of a hill in his backyard. George put on his warm socks, his snow pants, and his flannel shirt. Then he put on his snow jacket, his boots, his mittens, and his hat. He was ready. Outside, the air smelled clean and cold. George plunged into the snow. It was fluffy but crunchy, too. He made a snowball and threw it against a tree. It was very, very quiet. George took some snow and packed it into a little ball. Then he started rolling the ball in the snow, and the ball got bigger and bigger. When the ball got too heavy to roll, he stopped rolling it near the bottom of his slope. Then he started rolling a medium-sized ball. He put it on top of the big ball. Finally, he made a small ball for the top. Did you hear all those things? Small, medium, and large. So small, let's see, right there. Small, medium, large. When you make a snowman, you have a big one on the bottom, and then a medium, and then a small for his head. Small, medium, and large, important for building a snowman. Let's see, George went into the house and found a scarf in the closet and a carrot in his refrigerator. In the old days, his mother told him people used to take pieces of coal and use them to make eyes for snowmen. But there wasn't any coal in George's house, so he found 2 buttons and brought them outside with the scarf and the carrot. He carefully pushed the buttons into the small ball near the top. He stuck the carrot in the center, and he found a few small twigs and used them to make a mouth. He wrapped the scarf between the top ball, the head, and the middle ball, the neck, or the body. And he found 2 branches to stick into the sides of the middle ball. It was a perfect snowman. George turned his head. He thought he saw the snowman smiling at him. Could it be? Time for a snack, said George. He went inside the house and got 2 mugs of hot chocolate and some cookies. He put them on his snow table. Would you like something to eat? George asked.
I can't drink hot chocolate, the snowman said, but a cookie would be nice.
It was magic. Why can't a snowman drink hot chocolate? It would melt him, wouldn't it? Oh, what fun. After their snack, George made a cave, tunneling deep into his slope. He piled up snowballs at the entrance. Then he threw a couple at the snowman. The snowman made some balls and threw them back at George. His long branch arms helped him throw the snowballs very far. It was hard to say who won the fight, but it was still fun. The snowman chased George, excuse me. The snowman chased George around the yard, and then George chased the snowman. The snowman couldn't move very fast, so it was easy for George to sneak up on him. It was starting to get dark. George didn't want to go inside, but his mother was calling him. "Goodbye, snowman," he said. "I'll see you tomorrow." George even thought he heard the snowman say, "Good night." The next day it was warmer outside. The sun was even brighter and the snow was shrinking. The snowman was shrinking. George played with him all day, but he could tell that the snowman didn't have quite the same energy. Then it was Monday. George had to go to school. It was another bright, warm day. When he came home, the snowman was almost gone. The scarf and the carrot and the buttons had slid down. He could hardly recognize his snowman. The cave had collapsed too, and the snow table melted. Oh, look at George's face. He looks sad, doesn't he? But look, what's the opposite of sad? Happy! The next morning, George looked out the window. It was snowing. Snowing, snowing, snowing. He couldn't wait to build his snowman again. Oh, that's a sweet little book, Snowman Magic. I've got a quick little snowman song for you, and it goes like this. And it talks about the carrot nose. Can you pretend that I have a carrot nose? It goes like this. There was a chubby snowman who had a carrot nose. Along came a bunny, and what do you suppose? That hungry little bunny was looking for his lunch. He ate the snowman's carrot nose. Nibble, nibble, crunch. Should we do it again together? There was a chubby snowman who had a carrot nose. Along came a bunny, and what do you suppose? That hungry little bunny, yum, 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 was looking for his lunch. He ate the snowman's carrot nose. Nibble, nibble, crunch. You can do that again if you want with your family. Maybe teach it to somebody. And let's see, we have had such a fun time at Storytime. I'm going to show you next how to make that beautiful ice lantern. And I hope you'll maybe send me a picture of it. You can comment on this video in the Facebook post. You can comment and share a picture of your ice Luminaro. Or also, you can go outside and show me pictures of what you like to do outside. I'd love to know what you're doing to enjoy our winter. All right, we'll sing our goodbye song and then we'll make our lantern. It goes like this. It's time to say goodbye. It's time to say goodbye. We've had some fun and now we're done. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks so much for joining me for Storytime. I really love having you, and I hope I'll see you at the library soon. All right, take care. Bye-bye. All right, so now I'm going to show you how to make that really cool ice Luminaro or ice lantern, whatever you'd like to call it. We learned about in solstice, the winter solstice, a lot of people will celebrate it by putting lights up or lighting candles in celebration of the coming of more light from our sun. So remember, we learned that the planet is tilted on its axis. So during the winter, us living up in the northern hemisphere, we get less light. So you notice it gets dark earlier, it's dark later in the morning, and we just don't have as much sunshine. And so people in the past would light candles, and today they do this, You might see people who have Luminaros, they're little little paper bags with candles inside. Sometimes on Christmas, people will put those out in their sidewalks. And you can put your ice Luminaro out too. You can also do it inside as a centerpiece at your table if you like. But let me show you how to make these. So you need like a larger plastic container and then something that's going to go in the middle to make it hollow so you can put your candle in once the outer part freezes. And for a demonstration so you can see, I'm going to do it in a glass, but it's best to do it in plastic because if you were to freeze your ice Luminaro in here, you wouldn't be able to get the ice out. It's a different size. This one, you'll be able to easily get it out. You can put some warm water on it and it'll slide right out. So what you'll do is you'll pour your water in here, then you're going to put this in, and then you're going to put some things that you can gather out from nature, or you can do whatever you like. Some people like to use, these are just some junipers, some evergreens. You can do pine cones, anything you'd like to put in there. You could even do a Lego Luminaro if you want. And so then you pour the water in and place your items in. But since you can't see through this plastic, I'm going to use this glass as an example. So we're going to pretend that this is in the plastic. You can see how that sits nicely. I put some heavy batteries in there to hold this down. Otherwise it would float and it would be sideways and it wouldn't be nice up and down straight. So you could put rocks in there, whatever you have that's heavy. And you just want to make it so whatever container you have in there will fit your candle. You don't want a really, really narrow, like tiny jar. There's nothing you can fit in because that's going to make your hollow your hollow spot. So I'm just going to put in my greens that I gathered from outside, and I got a few different kinds. I'm just going to tuck them in like that. Then I'm going to put my berries in last. Now I don't want all my berries to just sink to the bottom. So I was thinking this piece that's sticking out, I'm going to anchor it down with some of these crab apples or berries. I'm not sure what these are. These are from I don't think they're from a mountain ash. I'm not sure. They might be some kind of sour crab apple. But do you see how they're kind of floating on there? They're not going all the way down, which is nice. And I'm going to put some on the other side here. And these I might push down because I think they're all kind of going to the top. Remember, when it freezes, that jar is going to come out. And what we'll do to get that out is just put warm water in there and it'll release it. I'll show you after we freeze it. I think we're having some cold weather coming, so that'll be good. The day I made this on Tuesday, it wasn't cold enough, so I had to put it in my freezer. But once we get some really cold winter weather, you'll be able to set these outside. I've made them in large 5-gallon buckets with, you don't have to do these decorations. It's pretty just a frozen bucket with a big candle inside that can burn all night. So I'm going to, it looks like a lot of these are floating up. Might have to anchor them down. But I'm going to go put this in my freezer, and then tomorrow, or maybe even later today, it'll be ready for us to show you how to take it out. But remember, I'm going to put it in here, all right? And I'll see you in a few, probably 6 hours or so.